Hi there, welcome to another video. This is another bike I have, another e-bike. If you've seen my other one, my other bike is a Raleigh Trail E1. This one's a Raleigh Lore IE. This bike I picked up used. I found it we were out of Salt Lake, KSL Classifieds. I got it for $1,500. Had like 700 miles on it. It has been a good little bike. I bought it so my kids could go out riding with me, and so they could go do a little bit of riding. It only had, like I said, 700 miles on it. It's got the Bosch Performance line speed on it is what motor it has. So it's kind of interesting between riding this to see the difference between the Bosch and the Shimano E8000 on my Marin. Haven't had this one out in the hills as much as my other one, but I've ridden around town a lot. It is a nice bike. I think it's fairly solid build. Again, hardtail. If you're a bigger guy like me, looking at hardtail, has the rock shock on it. Can't remember which rock shock it is. Rock shock Judy on it. It's been a good bike so far. Like I say, we've had it out a little bit and just played around with it. Just kind of wanted to kind of talk about when you're out there looking. Like I say, this is a fairly solid bike. I'm going to put some a little bit rougher, a little bit more off-road tires on it. But this has nice 4-pot brakes on it. They're nice Magura brakes on it, so it's got some high-quality brakes on it. Good motor on it. The battery still holds a charge. It's a good bike, and I ended up getting it for, like I say, $1,500, which is what you can pick up if you're looking for a low-end hub drive, you can pick up a low-end hub drive for that. This is a fairly good, when it was new, brand new, it was over $3,000. I don't think it's as good as bike as my Marin, but it is a good solid bike that you can get used. And I think the used market right now is even getting better with the prices that we're having out there with the overstock of bikes right now. I think if you look around, you are able to find some good deals on some of the used bikes. And again, it comes down to what you're wanting and what you're looking at. You can get a nice hub drive for this, or I have seen a few without suspension like that. You can get a few others around like that. This one, say, has a fairly decent fork. I really haven't aired it up for me. When I ride it, I just kind of close the damper down a little bit so it doesn't rebound too quickly. So my kids can, that way my kids got a little bit of suspension when they go riding. If I air it up for myself, then I have to keep adjusting it for my kids. So I just kind of left it a little soft for my kids. But if you're looking for bikes and you kind of know what you're looking for, there are some good deals to be had out there. Like I say, this is a good solid bike for under $2,000. It's an older one, but it's going to have everything you need. It's got Dior, I think it is, nice. Yeah, Dior 10-speed on it, so it has the same components as same drive components as my Marin. Good solid bike for that price. Again, it all depends on what you're looking for. It is a again 27.5. I like the 27.5 just because for a bigger guy. My 29er, I kept breaking spokes. I like the plus size tires. These are 3.0 tires on it. My other one has 2.8. I like the plus size tires because I can run a little bit lower pressure and gives me a little bit of cushion. Plus, they just seem to support a bigger guy better. So I look for the plus size. Unfortunately, they don't make as many of these as they used to. There are still a few companies that make them out there, but they are a good bike for a bigger guy, a good hardtail like this. You really can't go wrong with if you're a bigger guy, for a good hardtail name brand e-bike. you're going to be looking probably somewhere around 3,000 now. You can find some of them for a little bit under 3,000, but a good hardtail you can find. Some of the off-brand ones a little cheaper. Got to be careful. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'd really like to look at some of those and take a review of them. I just haven't had a chance to look at some of those now. There are some companies out there making some good lower end bikes that you can get into for a decent price, for under 3,000. You just got to know what you're looking for. Their mid drives like this are what I like, just because I'm a bigger guy and I like to be able to approach stuff and be able to control the gears and the power together. The hub drive, you don't quite have that same control, but the hub drives are great bikes. You can use them for a lot of stuff. If you're out in the hills and windy trails and stuff a little bit more, this just gives you a little bit more control, where you can control the gears and the power together. And that's what I like about my the mid drives. But this is just a good solid bike that I was able to pick up used. Picked it up this last summer. I haven't ridden this in the snow. The tires kind of scare me. I've ridden my other one out this winter a few times, but as soon as snow starts melting, we'll get out with the kids, and I'm looking for one to get my wife out too. So that's my next goal, is try to find something to get my wife out riding. That's where we'll be headed next. She hasn't tried this one. My kids have all tried it a little bit. But if you're wondering about bikes, you can get some nice used ones out there. Like I say, this is a pretty solid bike, good bike. It's not quite as nice as my other one, but I paid $1,000 less. It was used, but it's a good solid bike. It will hold up to what I will do to it and what my kids will do to it. Eventually I will get some more off-road tires and go out and explore with it. I'll have to let you know how that goes if I get it out in the hills. Guy I bought it from put a suspension seat post on it. That is kind of nice. I haven't really had one with a suspension seat post. Thinking about putting a dropper on it. I really love droppers when I'm out in the hills. It's nice to be able to quickly up and lower and drop your seat post when you're going up and down the trails, getting different terrain. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you're thinking about getting an e-bike, do it. It's a game changer, especially if you're an older, bigger guy like me. It makes a world of difference. It'll make mountain biking fun again. And if you've biked a lot, if you've never biked before, it's a fun thing to do. These bikes are capable. You can get out there in the hills and have some fun. I get kind of frustrated. I see all these reviews of guys on these e-bikes, and all they do is most of them just take them around on the streets. The real fun of an e-bike is getting out in the hills, getting out and exploring, seeing the world out in the mountains and seeing what's out there. And hopefully I can get some of my videos out in the hills this summer and showing you what you can do on an e-bike and where you can go and what these things are capable of doing and where they're capable of taking you. They're a lot of fun. If you're thinking about getting one, I encourage you to do it. Look around. If you're unsure about it, go see if you can find somebody to let you ride theirs. Get out on the used marketplaces, see what you can find on the used ones. Start with that. You can get some nice used ones for under $2,000 right now. Know what you're looking for. Difference between the hub drive ones with the motor in the hub versus the mid drive like this. They are different. Depends on what kind of riding you want to do. Cost is usually more for your mid drives like this, but they're more capable depending on what you want to do. Nothing against the hub drives. My brother, his wife have one. They love them, and they do a lot of riding with them. But if you have any questions, comments, let me know down below. And remember, if I can get out there and ride, you can get out there and ride.